Okay, so Parcc scores and reports. Again, a comparison slide. NJASC and HESPA to Parcc. And I will tell you that a lot of this information is just starting to come out from the New Jersey Department of Education. So some of this is still yet to be determined. With NJASC, there were 3 levels of proficiency: partial proficient, proficient, and advanced proficient. And scale scores ranged from 100 to 300. With Parcc, there are going to be 5 levels of performance, and scale scores have yet to be determined. But we'll be able to have more accurate conversations about student level, student achievement by expanding those levels. In terms of the data that came back from NJASC and HESPA, it was limited. They gave us data based on clusters of skills. With Parcc, they're going to give us item-level data. We'll actually be able to use these tools, these assessments, as instructional tools to really think about where our students are succeeding, where our students have room for improvement, and to use these tests very strategically to help us make informed decisions in the classroom, at the building level, and at the district level. With NJASC and HESPA, schools received the scores in very late August. Parents received those scores in the fall of the following year. With Parcc, next year, because it's the first year, in year 1, we're going to receive the scores in the fall. They need to crunch these numbers across multiple states around the country, so that's going to take additional time for them to do. In years after, with the online testing, they promise to have the scores to us by June of that current year, which will certainly help provide that information much more timely. With NJASC and HESPA, there was a ceiling score. If a student received advanced proficient or a score of 300 perfect score, that was all the information that we were able to glean. We're told, we're not sure what this is going to look like just yet, but that students will be able to score beyond their grade level to give you more information as parents and give the district more information to make decisions as well. One question we know is on your mind is, how is this data going to be used? What is the purpose of this data? Well, North Brunswick has a tremendous assessment and data culture. It's something we've been very proud of. We really, when we assess students, we administer a test, we look at that as an investment in time, and we really want to get a high rate of return on our investment. So we administer tests internally in district that really help us to work more effectively, more efficiently, more collaboratively, and more strategically. But it's one of multiple measures. We examine all of our test data. We try to correlate. We try to find, we look at to triangulate that data to help schools make differentiated instructions and strategic decisions. Another purpose of the data is to inform parents and students. We want to give students feedback as well on their progress towards demonstrating mastery on the Common Core assessments, and towards their progress of meeting college and career readiness proficiencies. Colleges and universities will be using this data as well to help them make decisions about entry level for credit-bearing courses. So this is data that they'll be looking at on student transcripts in the future. All right, New Jersey Department of Education graduation rates. This information came out in the fall, and I believe Mr. Clark in the high school shared this with families. Current seniors in this building, the class of 2015, this does not apply. They needed to have passed HESPA, but for our current freshmen, sophomores, and juniors in this building, these are the rules that our students will be playing by. Essentially, they need to pass 1 Parcc administration in order to satisfy graduation requirements, or any of those other indicators that you see there below. There's SAT requirements, ACT requirements, AccuPlacer, PSATs, ACTs, some military type assessments, or for students that would be eligible, there is a portfolio appeal as well. So you can see there's a very diverse set of criteria that students could use to satisfy graduation requirements, and that information will be sent, is included in this presentation for you to reference at home. What has North Brunswick done to prepare for Parcc? Well, first and foremost, we are not a test prep district. I'll say it again. We are not a test prep district. We really believe in the standards. We engage students in high quality, rigorous, standards-aligned instruction and learning. And we feel if we do that, we're doing our job as educators. Students will certainly be prepared for college and career be ready for college and career. And as a byproduct, they will be ready for Parcc. So that is our priority here in district. That said, we are engaging students in activities to acclimate them, to familiarize them with the Parcc experience. And Mrs. Member Morell will talk about that in a few moments. We contract with Linkit, an assessment and data warehouse company that has created benchmark assessments that are aligned to the Common Core. They are rigorous assessments that have helped students prepare, and we've administered these tests for the last 3 years. We've used that data very strategically, and again, that experience has helped students prepare for the rigors of state testing, and it's helped this district make some really wise decisions. Technology. We have had, over the last 3 to 4 years, we have implemented a strategic plan that started with infrastructure and then addressed accessibility. The board has been incredibly supportive, and we did not buy these devices for testing. We purchased these devices and we improved our infrastructure to support teaching and learning. Teaching and learning with relevant tools that students are going to use when they enter the workforce, when they enter when they enter college and universities. We really feel we are educating students for their future, not our past, and we are doing a great job, and teachers are really continuing to learn on how they can engage kids with these resources. So years ago, we looked at our network. We needed to improve our infrastructure. We needed to put state-of-the-art Wi-Fi in every single instructional space. We needed to ensure we had the broadband capacity that would not set us up for success now, not set us up for success with Parcc, but years down the road. On an average day, we use 6% of our broadband capacity. And that is based on a test that we did while the students were home on spring break. We got all of our Chromebooks, we put on YouTube, and we streamed 1080 HD video, and we barely scratched the surface of our capacity. We know our devices are reliable, we know our network is reliable, and we have a great team of technicians to support them. In terms of the devices, which was a question one of our parents asked earlier, the students will be using, we have Windows 7 desktops in our lab environments. Some of our labs have Windows 7 laptops in those environments as well. The great majority of our mobile fleet that we put on carts are Chromebooks, Dell Chromebooks. For those of you that are not familiar with a Chromebook, essentially it is a regular computer, but the only thing it does is go out to the internet to process information. So you wouldn't install a program on Microsoft Word on a Chromebook because you can't install programs on it. It simply uses the internet. But in this district, we've made an unbelievable transition over the last 5 years to Google Apps for Education. This is a free, secure platform for educators to use, for students to use. All of our teachers have accounts, all of our students have accounts, and it is cloud-based word processing, spreadsheets. They create websites, slide presentations. The presentation you're viewing right now is from Google Slides, and it's collaborative in nature. Kids share information with each other. They share information with their teachers. Teachers provide feedback for their students via this platform. It's saved automatically. It's accessible from any device, any computer, anywhere in the world, and we really feel very strongly this is a great move for our kids. And with that, we've really leveraged the Chromebooks to go even further with this investment. Our staff, we have really committed to our professional development resources to helping our staff learn how to use the devices, but more importantly, learn how to use the devices for instructional purposes, to engage our children, and we're really proud of the progress they have made, we've made together. These devices, these instructional strategies are integrated throughout the kindergarten through 12th grade program. And with that, we're helping kids make sure they have the proficiencies to succeed on the test. Things that you've heard before, the dropping and dragging, highlighting text, cutting and pasting, moving, using those online tools, graphing calculators, and other resources. But one of the most important things we've done in this district to help prepare for the test is to develop a mindset. Again, it goes back to high quality teaching and engaging kids in really important learning experiences. We don't want to stress our students out, and we encourage you to foster the same mindset at home. Encourage them to do their best. We always want kids to do their best, but they're going to take lots of tests in their lifetime. This is just another one, so please don't stress them out. They're going to take, if they want to go to a university or a college, they're going to have to take the PSATs, the ACTs, the SATs. This is a great experience to help them prepare to take those high-stake tests that will be required to take if they want to enter the college level. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Mrs. Amy Rumbo-Morell, talk a little bit about what we've done on the administrative side.
Thank you. In 2013, 3 of our 4 elementary schools participated in a Parcc item tryout. Again, very similar to items that my colleagues in the language arts and math departments showed you earlier. Last year, the state selected North Brunswick to try out the 2014 field testing. We were selected to have 2 4th grade, 2 6th, 2 7th, 2 8th, 2 11th grade English language arts, and geometry classes. About almost 300 students partake in field testing, where it was a live simulation of the actual tests that are coming up in March and in April and May. And the feedback from students was extremely positive. Students, particularly at the elementary level who participated in field testing, actually said, can we do more of it? And they were quite disappointed when in a few weeks they had to take NJDOE. They really enjoyed the features of the testing. They enjoyed the different tools they were allowed to use, that they could, scroll down passages, particularly for language arts, appeared on every page, unlike the booklets of NJDOE and HESPA where they had to go back and forth. Teachers also really liked proctoring this field testing as well. It gave them greater visibility to see where the students were. And again, going back to that, teachers, meaning the examiners, proctors, could clarify general directions at any time for students. They also enjoyed that part of the experience. All of the district administrators, school-based and district-wide, who will be known as the test coordinators in each building, have participated in state regional trainings that were offered this month, and all staff will be trained in these same procedures this coming Monday as well, when they are turnkeyed in each building. In terms of Parcc preparation, really goes back again to the Common Core curriculum standards in terms of differentiating our professional development, seeing what Common Core skills and standards that we need to address more in the classroom, and again differentiate that based on what some of our own assessments are telling us, just like our Linkit assessments. What skills do we need to have develop more of in other classes like social studies and science, let's say. The district and school-based leadership teams have been continually meeting even prior to this year with the implementation of Parcc, again to better our curriculum in terms of really emphasizing the strategies and skills that these students need to be successful. I know Mr. Marcus just talked about strategic planning pertaining to technology. Going back to the scheduling, it was strategically planned, again, to best fit the needs of the students and to get them back into the classroom and really try to preserve that teaching and learning as much as possible. The Parcc tutorial sample items and practice tests in the classroom. And again, a number of my colleagues have participated in the regional trainings in the state this past month, and I am really proud to say that at this day and time, every single student in grades 3 through 11 who will be participating in the Parcc assessments have participated in this. They have seen the tutorial, the sample items, the practice tests. And again, this was not to get kids as test prep. This was to get them acclimated to the technology-based items that they would see on Parcc. So again, really proud in sitting in with other districts to see how far ahead our district is, particularly with getting students involved and acclimated to the technologically enhanced items that Parcc offers. We have developed an extensive staff Parcc resource for our teachers and administrators that they have had access to via Google for past couple months, and in particular, and I know time is running short, but it is linked here. We have developed, and that will be live as of tomorrow morning with this site. Parents, guardians, anybody who would like, can visit our comprehensive NBTSchools Common Core Parcc parent resource. It links for you Common Core references by grade level. You do not have to go to the Common Core site and scroll through and find a grade level that pertains to your students. We have done that for you. Same thing with Parcc parent resources that are out there. We have pulled them separately, linked them separately for you. We've linked the Common Core English and Math standards separately. Again, you do not have to scroll through them. They are linked exactly what you are looking for, grade level, subject area. We also have our Parcc administration windows and schedules on the website for you, as we've discussed tonight. Also, numerous ELA math task prototypes and samples, more than, again, what we were able to show you today. So we've included additional ones there. Parcc FAQs we have included as well, many of which we have addressed tonight, but they are there as well for your reference. The performance level descriptors when Mr. Marcus was talking about the scoring, the practice tests, the sample items, the tutorials that your children have been engaged in the classroom for the past month and a half are available. They are not secure. Pearson Access, this makes them public. And again, we are really proud to say that we feel very confident in how our teachers have been helping students acclimate to the computer items. And again, there's plenty of opportunity to practice at home as well. The links are all here for you. You do not have to go looking for the site. Everything is there right in our Google site for you.
All right, so before we wrap things up, I just wanted to bring up Mrs. Maharana. She is one of our board members here in North Brunswick. She's an educator, and she's also part of the National Committee for Parcc Mathematics. So just wanted to give her a few moments just to add her unique perspective to this evening.
Thank you. Thanks a lot for coming out tonight, this evening, and I hope all your questions are answered. And if there are some remaining, you have a wonderful group of teachers, administrators who are out there to help you all out. And I really want to thank Dr. Zakowski and his team, the administrative team, the teachers for preparing the students, going through the minute details of broad bandwidth or Chromebooks or anything that was required to for the students to make them ready for this Parcc test, take the practice test, or put up this Parcc night that's useful. But if at this point of time you feel that some questions are unanswered, or if you have any other questions, you can surely reach out to them, to me, and we'll be glad to help you out to work as a team and to create and help the students prepare for this digital age test. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Maharana. I just want to thank you also. What a great audience. You've been sitting longer than our students will. You learned about the Parcc longer than it will take them to take the Parcc. But I do want to thank our DOE, the Assistant Commissioner, and our County Superintendent sit here getting great feedback. I told them that come to North Brunswick, you will see some a wonderful presentation, but here insightful questions, and we're going to get to that part. I know some people have other questions, and I know there's a topic or two that we didn't hit, and I'm sure it's going to come up, and I want to get to that. But I just wanted to thank you ahead of time. I want to thank all of my principals and administrators here, because it's been a long day. They're preparing. They have children at home, but we felt it was necessary to continue this open dialogue. We may not answer everything tonight. We may not get the questions that hit your head in the middle of the night and say, I got to get... But you heard Mr. Marcus. Keep him here all night. One. But two, you'll think of something. Email us. We'll get back to you, or we'll forward your question to someone that will get back to you. Because I said, when you leave here tonight, I want to make sure you have more factual information, how it relates to you and your family and your child here in North Brunswick, and to lay fears because of all this dialogue going back and forth across the aisle. So, without further ado, I do want to ask Mr. Marcus to bring us on. We got a couple more slides. Oh, we have two more, and then we do have a question part, and we also have some discussion about some controversy that you may have heard.
Controversy.
Okay, so as you can see, our district has been busy at work trying to get our kids prepared for this assessment. We are ensuring that students are exposed to all of the literature, informational, writing, language, speaking, and listening standards, but often parents will ask us what they can do. And so we have some easy tips, things that you can do at home for free to help us out as we get kids ready for March. One, if you're having conversations around the table, make sure that your children are supporting or defending their thinking, their arguments, their requests in basic conversation. Two, encourage your child to read more nonfiction. You might go Time for Kids, Discovery Channel, History Channel. I also, we advocate Newsela.com is a great site for lots of engaging and current nonfiction. If possible, if your child likes, let's say, sharks, have them read multiple articles on sharks from 2 different authors' perspectives. And whenever possible, encourage your child to type assignments on the computer. So all of our kids have reading and writing notebooks at the K-8 level. If they can type their entries on Google or on Word on as much as possible, that's very helpful, especially for those parents who are concerned about their children really being able to type at an appropriate pace. I think that's about it for language arts. And then math.
Yeah, this is a tough act to follow. Thank you very much. Excuse me, Mike Palazzo, K-5 math and science supervisor, and very new to the math supervision part in the elementary. And one thing I have to tell you about this is I've been very impressed with the K-5 math program. We are very current. Your K-5 students have been engaged in the Everyday Math program 2012, and the K-2 now have moved to the Everyday Math 2014 version, directly aligned with the Common Core standards. Additionally, to build fluency, they are doing Rocket Math daily, where they really get that practice with each other and build that confidence and that speed, that recognition of those numbers. These are things that, as a newcomer to seeing that, I had noticed it. I've been in the sciences in those rooms with them and had heard about Rocket Math, my colleagues in the office, but seeing in action both the Everyday Math applications, which again are tied in very tightly with the Parcc style, the Parcc protocols, the style of questioning, to please explain, why did you think that? How did you get that? You see that teachers, again, I'm in the 4 elementary schools, in the 5 grades, observing those math classes and seeing them all adhere to this protocol. And I would say 8 out of 10 of those students are so relaxed, are so confident, but there's a remaining, wait for it, 2/10, and we don't want them to be right, 2/10. We want them to be relaxed. Encourage them to be good. Sorry, they saved me for, never mind, get the hook. Encourage them to be good mathematicians at home, to encourage that perseverance, and it's happening with them in their classrooms. You've probably worked with your son or daughter at home, talking about Rocket Math, seeing this. Another thing that's very available that you may not be aware of for Rocket Math, especially for the fluency, is there's an iPad app for it. So they can do additional work on that at home. The Parcc tutorials, if you haven't done it yet, because one of the first things I did was to get on the Parcc tutorials and take it myself, and then take the sample tests. And it will build your confidence, because you'll see, okay, this isn't that scary. My child can do this manipulation, can maneuver the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade levels. Fine. I got a little scared up at the upper levels, but we'll let that go. Again, practicing the key fluencies, those are ways to do it, especially the Rocket Math. Provide opportunities for the practice. Again, there are a lot of the tutorials will help them a great deal, and they are doing that rigorously in the classrooms. Talk about math, look for it during your daily activities, make them figure out how many square feet the living room is. And I already showed my love for fractions, so thank you very much.
Thank you. one point that I did mean to mention, I meant to bring up earlier, and it was a keyboarding question. I just want to go back to that, and then we're going to wrap things up. Keyboarding instruction is part of the standards as well, the New Jersey standards, and we take that very seriously. At the elementary level this year, we invested in a program called Typing Agent. Our lab teachers, our technology teachers, have been working in the technology lab to engage students in this instruction. They've identified those students that require additional intervention. They're getting additional time in the classroom to work on the software. It's software they can use from, it's an online program they can use from home as well, and we are really pleased with the at-home use. We run reports and we're seeing great use there. We have keyboarding instruction embedded in our programs in the middle school as well, so we are definitely looking at knowing that this is a transition for students, but as my colleague said, the best thing you can do at home is encourage them to do some of their work online on Google Docs or on any online platform.